If you're on Medicare, I bet you know this feeling. That little bit of dread when you see an envelope from your insurance company. You just know it's another notice that your premium is going up again. It can feel like you're stuck. But what if I told you there's a smarter way to handle these costs without sacrificing the great coverage you count on? It's a huge frustration, and I hear about it all the time. You carefully plan your budget for your Medigap plan, and then boom, like clockwork, that letter arrives announcing a rate hike. I'm here to tell you, you're not going crazy. It's not just you. This is a very, very real part of the deal with Medigap. And wow, this quote from Boomer Benefits just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Premium increases aren't an accident. They're literally built into the system. So you should absolutely expect them to go up. The real question isn't if they'll go up, but why. And more importantly, what on earth can you do about it? Okay, so let's dig into that why. We're calling this section the Medigap Premium Squeeze. And that's honestly the perfect name for it, because that's what it feels like. We're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly what's driving those price hikes year after year. Okay, so the main culprit for a lot of folks is this thing called an attained age policy. And here's the kicker. It's the most common type of Medigap plan out there. The idea is pretty simple, really. Your premium is directly tied to how old you are right now. So with every birthday, the starting point for your premium can tick up. But it's not just about getting another year older. Oh no. There are a bunch of other things pushing that bill up. You've got regular old inflation, for one. Everything in healthcare just gets more expensive. Then think about everyone who has the same plan as you. As that whole group gets older, they naturally need more medical care, which means more claims for the insurance company to pay. And finally, when Medicare itself raises its deductibles, your Medigap plan has to pick up that extra cost. And guess who that gets passed on to? It's like the perfect storm for higher premiums. All right, so that bigger bill lands in your mailbox. Now what? What do people usually do? In this next part, let's look at the two roads most people go down and the huge trade-offs that come with picking either one. And this is where you hit that classic fork in the road, right? On one side, you can just stick with your standard Medigap plan. The biggest pro? Total freedom. You can go to any doctor, any hospital, anywhere in the country that takes Medicare. No questions asked. The con, well, we already know that one. Those premiums just keep climbing. On the other side, you could jump over to a Medicare Advantage plan. The pro there is a super low premium. Sometimes it's literally $0 a month. But the trade-off is a big one. You give up that freedom. You're stuck inside a network, and you might need a referral just to see a specialist. It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? Do you really have to choose between paying a fortune for freedom or giving up your freedom just to save some money? Is there another way? A middle ground that maybe gives you the best of both worlds? Well, I've got some good news. It turns out there is another way. It's a strategy that, honestly, a lot of people just don't know about, but it strikes a fantastic balance. So let's dive into what we're calling a smarter strategy, the High Deductible Plan G, or as we'll call it, GHD. And here it is, the High Deductible Plan G. This isn't some second-rate option. It's a really smart strategic choice. It's specifically designed for people who want that amazing freedom of original Medicare and a Medigap plan, but who also want to get a handle on those monthly premiums. Okay, this is the big aha moment. This is the whole game. With a standard Plan G, you pay a high premium every single month, no matter what. Your risk is super low. With a high deductible Plan G, you make a different deal. You swap that high monthly premium for a dramatically lower one. In exchange, you agree to take on a bit more risk. But, and this is key, that risk is predictable and it is capped. You're trading a high certain cost for a low certain cost. Okay, so that's the big picture. But how does this thing actually work day to day in the real world? Let's walk through the mechanics, step by step. It's simpler than you think. All right, you're going to want to remember this number, $2,950. For 2026, that's the official high deductible amount. This is the magic number. It defines the absolute most you would pay out of pocket for your Medicare-covered services for the whole year. And this is absolutely crucial. You have to change how you think about a deductible. That $2,950 isn't a bill you get in the mail on January 1st. Not at all. It's a cap. It's a ceiling. Think of it as your financial safety net for the year. It's your worst-case scenario number. And once you hit it, your plan takes over and pays 100% of everything else. So what does a year with this plan actually look like? It's beautifully simple. Just 3 steps. 1, every single month, you get to enjoy those much, much lower premiums. That's real money back in your pocket. 2, when you go to the doctor or hospital, you pay for those services until your costs add up to that deductible.
And 3, the best part, the second you hit that cap, you're done. The plan swoops in and pays 100% of all your Medicare-covered costs for the rest of the year. Simple as that.
So now we know the what and the how. That brings us to the million-dollar question. Is this the right move for you, for your health, for your finances? Let's put all the pieces on the table so you can decide. And here's a great little rule of thumb to help you figure that out. This quote from Medicare on Video really simplifies the math. Just do the calculation. Compare the annual premium for a standard plan G to a high deductible G. If you're saving $1,000 a year or more, well, that's a pretty big deal. It makes the GHD a really, really compelling option. Okay, let's put it all side by side. This chart is basically your decision-making dashboard. Look at your options. Standard Plan G, high premium but super low risk and total freedom. Medicare Advantage, really low premium, but your financial risk can be unpredictable and your freedom is limited to a network. And then, right there in the sweet spot is high deductible Plan G. It gives you that low premium you see with Advantage plans, but you get the total doctor and hospital freedom of a traditional Medigap plan. Your risk is a little higher, sure, but it is absolutely predictable and it is capped. So, I want to leave you with this one last question. So often we're taught to be afraid of deductibles, to run from them and get the plan with the absolute lowest out-of-pocket costs, no matter how high the premium is. But what if we flipped that script? What if, by strategically taking on a predictable capped deductible, you could unlock hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars in your retirement budget every year? It's a powerful thought and one that's definitely worth exploring.